we'll talk about one by one what we are going to do in today's session. So firstly, we'll define the email address on the customer master page. Second, we'll do the setup of the print management under the AR module, because we are going to send the emails to the customer for their invoices. So that is under Account Receivables module. Then after doing these two setups, we'll simply pass in a transaction with the help of a customer pre-text invoice, and once after posting of that particular invoice, system will automatically send an email address. So at the last, we'll check the email history and we'll show you how the email will be shown to the customer who will receive the invoice. So before proceeding to the dynamics and this session, I would like to request that please watch the email configuration setup session, which we have already covered and uploaded in my channel Dynamics Tech Guruji. I'll do one thing, put the link of the video of the SMTP configuration in the description of this video. Okay, so you will easily get that particular video. So let's jump into the dynamic home page of the dynamic. So firstly, to define the email on the customer master page, we have to click over here in the module list. We have to click on the account receivables. Under that, we have a customers. Under that customers, we have a all customers page. So to send an email as an invoice to customer, it is mandatory to define the email address to each and every customer. This is the first setup we can say. Okay, so how we can define the email? So we have to, let's say this is one of the customer to whom I would like to send the invoices. So firstly, we have to click over here on the customer master page. So it will open the details of my customer, and under this, if I'll do collapse all, so if you can see over here, we have one of the tab which is called contact information. Okay, so in the contact information, we have a 3 option. If you can see over here, add, remove and advance. Okay, so if we have to add the email address, okay, we have to simply click on add button. If we want to remove, then we have to just click on the remove button. And if I'll click on the advance, it simply give you the full description related to that particular line. And right now I am on this particular line, that is my email. So if you can see, this is the description that I have given over here, and this is the type which is given over here as a predefined value. Okay, email address, and this is email address that I have provided over here. So this is particular my email ID, and here is something important, that is purpose. Okay, so we'll see how it is important, why it is important, okay, while sending the email to the customer. So right now we have defined the purpose as a business. Okay, so after that, we'll click on OK. And if we want to define more than one email address on the same customer, either we have the option to click on add button. So it will create another line. Otherwise, we have the option to use the colon and enter the another email address as like this. This will simply, we can add more than one email address to the customer master page. Okay, but for the demo purpose, I'm just putting only one email address over here. Okay, so this is one of the setup that we have to do. Okay, another setup is related to the print management. So we are going to send an invoice to customer, and customer is related to the account receivables. So that's why we have to click on account receivables and then setup. Under setup, we have a forms. So under a form, we have a form setups, and in this form setups, if you can see over here, this is general. Under general, we have a print management. So simply we have to set up of the print management over here. So if you can see, these are the options. So we can send the email notification to the customer related to the collection letter note. Okay, customer account statement we can send, customer invoice we can send, free text invoice we can send. So these all we can send through the email instead of printing on the screen of the desktop. We can do the setup accordingly. It will send the email to the customer. So if you can see in the right side, once I'll click over here, it's showing as a default. So what are the options over here? We can see whether the original or copy identification. So same identification will be come at the time of posting of the free text invoice. So right now, this setup I'm doing on the original one. Okay, and the name is coming as original automatically. Okay, default setting. So there can be a multiple condition based you can create. So right now, if you can see over here, if conditional setting are not set up, or do not apply, print the document using the following setting. It simply means if I'm not giving any other condition on this particular setup, system will automatically use this particular setup that I'm going to do. So this is the destination. So if I'll click on the destination, okay, it's simply, if you can see over here, we have a revert to default print setup or print setup. So we have to just simply click on the printer setup. So under this printer setup, we have a different options like print archive, screen, whether you want to show the invoices, customer invoices, whether on screen, or whether you want a printer to be used, so that you can also do. And you can do on the file, or either you can send the email as a PDF. So if you can see over here, so email, so we have to select over here email. Under this email, this is a to, this is a CC, this will be the subject of your email, and this will be the format of your email. I mean the document or the invoice, whether you want to send as a Word document, as a XML file, or as a PDF file, or as an image. Okay, we have these options to select over here. Okay, simply. So this will going to the this will going to be the subject of that particular email. So I'm just giving over here as a customer invoice. Okay, and whatever this email by default you want to put for each and every invoice that you are going to send. Suppose one of the scenario that I am admin, okay, and I want to get a notification for each and every email that is going to send to customer. So let's say I'm an admin, so I'll put my email address over here. Okay, for demo purpose I'm putting. So what will happen is basically whenever system is going to send any email to the customer, okay, my email ID will be shown as a CC, and I'll get the email as well, whatever the email is sent to the customer, okay, or invoice sent to the customer through the Dynamics. So we can put CC email address over here also. Now the most important setup that we have to think about it over here is to email address. So here we have to think about from email address, what will be the from email address, and what will be the to email address. So from email address is nothing but your SMTP, okay, setup that we have done in previous session. So from email address will be used from that page. But if you can see over here, to mail address, so this is a common setup for all customer, right? So how the system is going to identify to whom a sales invoice to be sent or another customer not required to be sent. So if I'll click on edit button over here, it simply give you the filtration option, okay, or a multiple option to filter your customer with the different criteria. So first criteria, to filter out the customer that I want to send an email to the customer whose contact information purpose is business. So whatever the customer, let's say for example, there are 10 customer in my customer list, and in that particular customer list, I have defined the email address for all 10 customers, but in 5 customer I have given contact information purpose as a business, and another 5 contact person as a invoice or whatever. Okay, so if I'll do the setup for the business, okay, the system will send the sales invoice only to the customer whose contact purpose is business, not to the other customer. Okay, and second one is customer primary contact. So we can understand with the help of an example, what does it mean? Let's say there is a 3 contact or a 3 email address of a one customer. Now there can be only one primary contact and another can be optional, correct? So now if I want to send the email to only the primary contact information, then I will put as yes. Otherwise, if I'll put as no, simply it will send the sales invoice to all contact email ID who's having the purpose as business. Okay, and these are the other filtration option that we can send to the particular position holder like account manager, accountant, accounting manager and all. Okay, and we have the option to provide a colon for the additional email address, okay, that we can define over here. So this is the second setup that we have to do. Okay, and after doing that setup, we have to simply click on OK, and if you can see, it will show like over here as like this, that destination is @business @, and this is report format, that which kind of a report you want to send to the customer. So whatever the report that you have created, whether it is a standard or a customized, that will come over here. And according to the same report that you want to send to the customer, same you have to select over here. So for the time being, I'm selecting as a free text invoice dot report IN. So that is a standard customer invoice format. Okay. So after doing these simply two setup, if I can go to the customer invoice, now let's say I have to generate a free text invoice. So I'll simply go to the all free text invoice page. Okay. And after that, let me create a new free text invoice. So I'll select the same customer. Okay. This is the first customer that we have created the customer contact in as a email. Okay. We'll put all the details over here. Let's say I'm just putting any text customer sales invoice. I'll select the GLs. That will be a revenue GL, I can say. So I'm just taking sales of services quantity. Let's say there will be 10 and I'm putting 1000. Let's say. Okay. And after click on save button, we'll simply click on tax information. So we'll define the GST service accounting code. So let's say I'm just taking education services and I'm taking a tax rate type as lower. So it will simply calculate the tax on this particular invoice. So we can check that also. Okay. So if you can see the tax is calculated. Now let's say I'm going to click on the post button. Okay. Now over here, if you can see, this is nothing but a print setup, correct? Printer setup. And under the parameter, we have the posting. Yes. And over here, if you can see, this is something if we don't want to send the email notification, whatever we have set up in the print management, whether I want to send the, whether I want to use the print management or not. So if I want to use the print management, and under that particular print management in the second setup, we have defined as an email, correct? Instead of a screen, we have selected as an email. So system will identify that this particular invoice posting, correct? We have selected as a use print management destination, and the destination we have done the setup as an email to be sent to the customer. Okay. Whatever the customer, whatever the contact information we have defined as a business. So once we'll post it, simply it will post it and it will give you the message that it is going to send to the customer as a email. So if you can see over here, system is giving a message. The free text invoice posting process is complete. The report has been successfully sent as an attachment to email, and simultaneously it will check the email history. Okay. So we'll go to the system administration. Okay. And under the, let me collapse all. If we'll click on the setup button, we have a email. Under a email, we have a email history, correct? So if you can see over here, system showing over here the email history. Okay. This is a subject, customer invoice, send date and time, email recipient. So email recipient is nothing but the email address that we have defined on the that particular customer contact details. Correct. And you can see over here, the email sender is coming out like this. Okay. Which is defined on my user ID. So that's why it is coming at finance@gmail.com. Okay. And this is the attachment is showing over here, the file name, the default name, and this is a standard that show invoice.pdf. So as a customer, if you can click on the email address, okay, you can see now I'm getting again an email address over here, and this is showing as a 1 minute ago we received this particular email as an attachment. So this will received by the customer. If you can see over here, this is a from email address, correct? And this is nothing but a SMTP email address, and in the two it is going to this particular customer email address. Right now for the demo purpose, I have put it my email address in both case as a receiver and as a sender. Okay, that's why it is showing as the same one. Okay, and if we'll click on the on the PDF, it will show the written. So if we want to verify, we can simply go again on this page. Okay, and if we can click on the view, and we'll click on OK. So it will show you the original one, okay, on the screen. So it is not going to use your print management. So if you can compare this particular invoice, so this is the same that we have sent to the customer. 1 second. So invoice serial number, if you can see over here, 16. And if I go to the email address over here also, you can see the 16. So it is received by the customer as per the email that we have given on the customer contact information page. There might be another scenario or requirement is like how we can send the invoices through email to the customer for the previous invoices. Previous invoices means after setting particular setup or the print management set, correct? How we can send those previous invoices through the email to the customer. So for that, simply we have to select the invoices. So if you can see over here, I can click on the print over here. Okay. I can click on the select button. Selected means whatever the invoices that I want to send, correct? So that particular invoices I have to select. So if I click on selected, system will simply send the email to the customer. Okay. Whatever the customer you have defined on that particular invoice, it will send to those customer. Okay. Automatically automatically to the previous posted invoices. Okay. Now the another requirement is like I'm not going to select one by one, but I want to select a range. Okay, whatever the filtration option we have. So if I'll click again on the print button, we have the option called range. So under this range, if we'll click, we have the different filters like account type, whether we want to send in a customer account and an invoice account. So if we, how we can identify over here also, if you can see, we have the customer account and invoice account. So we'll talk about later that what are the difference between customer account and invoice account and how we, what are the scenarios where that can be different. Correct. So if it is different, we can do the filtration on the basis of customer account or invoice account. And after that, we have account like from this account, okay, to account to whom you basically want to send the invoices in one go, and type of a date used, whether you want to send on an invoice date or a invoice due date to send the use the filtration. And here is the from date to date, and print option, use print management, original or copy. So I'm just putting as a use print management over here. Under that, we have the option called use print management destination. So if I'll click OK, what will system do? System will automatically send the all customer invoices, whatever we have generated with this particular customer. Okay, so it will send one by one all the invoices to that particular customer, and according to that, if you'll check the email history, it will automatically show the history as you can see over here as per the filtration option that we have given. So in the Dynamics, we can say that we have the option to send only one invoice or multiple invoices in one go. So this is it from my side. I hope you have understood the concept and you have understood the setup, how we can do that. I hope you will like it, this video. Please do subscribe and share with your friend and colleague. Thank you so much for watching Dynamics Tech Guruji.